We'll pass it over to you whenever you're ready.
Sounds good. Can you all hear me okay?
Yep.
Well, first of all, I would like to apologize for not having my wife next to me. But I do promise you, if you do come to Morocco, you'll get to meet her and hopefully meet my son as well. Unfortunately, and unlike my wife, I don't play any instruments. I also don't sing. But I would like to share with you something that's meaningful to me. Given what we do here at Eskalera and given, the theme of the year in 2020 with what happened with Breonna Taylor and George Floyd and so on, I would like to introduce you to a type of music that's one of my favorites. It's called Gnawa music.
How is the sound, by the way?
Good.
Okay. تركوا ليلة الله الله يا تركوا ليلة تركوا ليلة الله الله يا تركوا ليلة مولاكم يبغى لا شنوية داويني العزاز عليا شنقا بوليلا ترى تركوا ليلة لكم يمولها شنوية داويني العزاز عليا الله الله يا تركوا ليلة ترى تركوا ليلة الله الله يا تركوا شنقا بوليلا ترى ويه تركوا ليلة الله الله يا تركوا ليلة والله ما ناكل بلالا وانا ويضرني في كرشي الله الله يا تركوا ليلة ترويه تركوا ليلة مولاكم يمهول شنوية داويني العزيز عليا ياك شنقا هابو ليلة يا مولا الشاشية داويني العزيز عليا تركوا ليلة تراوي تركوا ليلة مولاكم مية مولا شنوية داويني عزيز عليا تركوا ليلة تراوي والله يا مولاكم مية داويني العزيز عليا تركوا ليلة الله يا تركوا ليلة.
Just chanting in the loop. The goal is to put the audience in a trance, right? So it just keeps going and on and going, and they get these spirits or genie spirits to get them involved.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Who's part of the call here today with us. Samir used to be part of a band based in New York City that started Gnawa music. I believe it was in Brooklyn, but Samir can correct me. And Johnny and I have actually been to a lot of their concerts. So we've been all around Bushwick, Bed-Stuy, Gowanus, Manhattan, his village. And we used to go and just for me, it was just very deep. We used to experience this music that I had never felt so deep in New York City. I've never listened to these songs in New York City, so it brought up a lot of memories and background for me. And Gary, who's next to Johnny, has been to one of the concerts as well. With that, I'd like to pass it over to Samir to talk to us a little bit about this music, and hopefully, if we're lucky, he's going to play a song or two for us.
Hey, you guys hear me, first of all?
Yes.
Yeah,
Because I had my, speaker, I'm trying to make it look professional and sound professional, but it just didn't work. So I'm like, okay, just get rid of that and make it organic. So, yeah, as Jalil mentioned, I'm a Gnawa musician. I was born in Agadir in the south Morocco. I came to the States in 2010. I lived in North Carolina, then I moved to New York. That's when I founded the band. And we've just been playing all over. The goal was to spread the love of the Gnawa music. And just like Jalil mentioned, Gnawa is a very spiritual, transcendence music. It's used to heal people in these long night ceremonies. We call them Lila. Lila in Arabic means night. And it's like if you have a pain or like you are possessed by a genie or something, like you just go to the Lila and you just keep on listening to these long night songs and dance and cultures and incense. And sometimes you may feel good and you may have, that relief that you needed. Even though if you go to a doctor, sometimes may not know what's wrong with you because it's very spiritual. There is a story that I want to start with, just before I start playing. I know the time is limited. Like Jimi Hendrix, he went to Eskalera back in the days, and he met with this Gnawa master. His name is Muallim Abdurrahman Paco, and he attended the Gnawa Lila, which is a ceremony. And Jimmy was like, sitting there the whole night, just like looking at these people, like the rituals and the spirituals and everything. And then, the master, he got tired. It was like around 3 p.m., I think. So he passed the gimbri to his right hand, his student. Told him, okay, so you finish, I'm going to go take a nap. So the student took the gimbri, which is this instrument, and he took the gimbri and he started playing. And then there is one person with the audience, like, he was in trance, and he started crying and he started screaming. So the people didn't know what's wrong with him, and they were like, the guy who was playing the gimbri, he told him like, yo, that's it, we finished the night, the ceremony is over, we played all the songs, we did everything, that's it, the night is over. And the guy was like still, screaming like a baby, crawling on the floor and like, yo, you have to play my song. So he didn't say it, but he was just like acting like that. So they didn't know what's wrong with him. So they went and they woke up the master. They told him, yo, Muallim, Muallim is the name for the master. They told him, yo, Muallim, we don't know what's wrong with this guy. Like, we played all the songs for him, and here we are, the night is over. And he looked at his right hand and the student, and he told him, when I passed you the gimbri, did you play this song in between? And he said, oh, I never thought it's a big deal, so I just passed on to the next one. I told him, okay, give me the gimbri. So he took the instrument and he played the song for the guy, and the guy was feeling good. And that's when Jimi Hendrix called him Doctor of Spirits. It's like he knows where the spirit is. That's when he called him Doctor of Spirit. So that's just like a basic story about how some people can feel very tranced and very possessed by the music. Even me as a musician, as a professional musician, whenever I play it, sometimes I can start crying, and that's how deep it is. It can touch me even I am professional and I'm used to the songs all the time, but it can still touch me. Jalil.
Amazing.
Awesome. That's a great intro. Thank you. And by the way, Samir is a Grammy Award nominee. So I think it was in 2018. Is that right, Samir?
Yeah, that was 2018 with Bonobo.
That's awesome. Then please let us know if we have or Deborah or whoever is hosting and managing the call today, if we have a few minutes, I would love for Samir to just play a few maybe.
If this company ever says no to music, shut it down the next day. Shut it down, okay? If it ever happens, right?
Yeah, you can see those anytime. This is special.
Samir, just before you get started, if you don't mind just introducing the Gambri, maybe just talking about how it's made and.
Sure.
I don't even know, so I would love to.
So basically, the Gambri is like, if you see, it's like a shape of a bow. You know, that's how some of the slaves were transported from, the west to the east. Coming down to Morocco, and we have the skin. By the way, I voted in North Carolina. Still, we didn't win the state, but anyway. So we have the camel skin, especially the neck part of the camel, and the strings are made of goat guts. That's why it's just like a piece of wood that's carved inside, and that's why it's all organic. You can feel the sound touches your heart, and and this is the Moroccan flag. I love Morocco. Just trying to be nice to my country. And this is me in the back holding the castanets. It's a lobster holding the castanets. That's my logo.
I didn't know lobster were indigenous to Morocco.
Maybe. Alright, so I'm gonna play a song called Tura Tura.